Hello, hello. This this meeting is a meeting about non-duality. Non-duality. Non-duality means not two, not two. Everything is in two. And there's I'm living my life, and I'm here, and there's circumstances. Then there's everything is two, like good and bad, before and after. It's living in time, distance, here and there. So everything is in two. And then the suggestion here is that there's only one. That's odd because we cannot imagine what that is, one. When normally, when there's an understanding, then it's always about two, like looking at myself or being aware of what's going on. When they're saying, no, there's only one, that's something. Maybe there's an understanding, but you cannot make an image of it, of how it is. It suddenly can be there. This is about loss. When there's I am here and this is my story and I'm living my life, then there's a center that feels like I'm the center and everything is happening to me. Thoughts are my thoughts or feelings are my feelings. Or maybe circumstances are happening to me and I have to deal with that, and how can I do it? And it's also like when there's me or I am here, that there's the belief that there's a free will and choice. When there's me, there's free will and choice. And then there's this meeting, and they're saying, no, there's already no me. There never was someone inside, no individual. And this is no choice and no free will. That seems scary because then when there's no control, when there's no control, there's a lot of fear because then maybe everything goes wrong when I don't do anything or things like that. And what's being said here is there was never control. So the idea that you're doing it is a misunderstanding. It's a dream. There's no one doing anything. It's what's happening already. And that idea that you're doing this is on top of what's happening. So it seems like you are doing it, or you did, it's because of you that things are happening. But it has nothing to do with you. There is already no one inside, and everything is happening by itself. It's life, you could say. And that whole idea about I am choosing, and this is what's really important, and I want this. It's a dream. It has no power. That whole idea about choosing and a lot of thoughts about what's going on. They're only thoughts. Thoughts don't have any power. It's thoughting. And we think when it's very important to think about it and to make a good decision and to take action and all that. And the suggestion more like, oh, there's no free will, there's no choice, there's already no me. So there's no control, there never was. There's also what what we normally think, there's living in time. And time is not only about yesterday and the dates and all that, that can be very obvious. But it's also when they're saying there's no time, there's also no before and no after, and nothing continues. So there's no here, this moment, and then another moment. There's only this. That's it's in a way it's very normal, and in the same times when there's normally living in time, it's crazy to hear that there's nothing before and nothing after. Is this. And the brain of humans is able to abstract everything. So there can be being able to see that there's time, something before and after, and about here and there. But it's only the mind, or the brain, that can abstract and think about that's there. Hearing there's no sorry, hearing that there's no distance is also crazy because we're so involved in that I'm here, and there, over there, there's something else, and that country is over there. There's this. This is everything. So there's also no inside and no outside. That's also two. There's this room, the wall, walling. It's that. That's everything. So there's nowhere to go. There's nothing to look for. It's already this. So what's happening? It can be a feeling, can be the wall, can be body, but nothing has any meaning. That what's done is that when there's something happening on top of that, so a lot of times there's meaning and purpose and all that. This meeting, this meeting also, it doesn't go anywhere. It's just a describing of what's happening. There's nowhere to go. It's already this. It's already what's happening. A hand, sitting, walling. It's that. It's so close. It's even closer than close, you could say. It's very intimate. It's that. And it's very simple and ordinary already. So it's nothing special. It's so ordinary when that whole idea about I'm here and that being busy with everything that doesn't arise, then it's can a lot of times it cannot even be noticed because the awareness of looking at yourself and being busy with what's going on is also gone. That's part of the whole construct of looking at yourself is part of that me, I'm here and I have to survive in this world or in my life. Oh my God. There's already no one. So sometimes when there's coming to these meetings and maybe there's an idea about I have still a me, and maybe when the me is gone, then my life or the life, what we can say, will go better and there will not be so many problems and all that. It's not about, let's say, about Rose. There is already also no Rose. It's a construct that we assume that there's Rose and she has a life before, like when she was born and all that. It's in the mind. There can be a remembering of yesterday, of maybe photos of all that, but that's happening in this. There's no continuation. So when there's no time, there's also no continuation. So that this is everything, that phase. And still also, and that's the paradox. There's the story goes on. There's being in the story and walking in the garden and talking about your mother and all that. So it's crazy. But when there's the story going on, then nothing is really important. There can be sadness, there can be anything, but nothing is more important than anything else. It's what it is. So we can talk about that and we can ask questions. And you can ask questions and say anything about everything. So it doesn't matter if it's non-duality talk, it doesn't need to, of course. There's no non-duality talk. It's it's about anything. If there's thinking of there's some things going on in the story and you want to talk about that, how to deal with that, then we talk about that and we will see what happens and what comes out. I don't know. There's only not knowing. And that's strange because it seems like when there's no me anymore, if there's maybe all knowing or there's a certain dealing with life in a more relaxed way or all that. There's so many ideas. There can be so many ideas about what's going on when that me is not there. It's very simple and ordinary. And when there's talking about the story of someone, then maybe that can be very clear. So there are no silly questions. There's any question or any sharing can be there. There's nothing wrong. That's huge. There's nothing wrong and there's nothing right. It's what it is. So it can't be wrong. It's what's happening. So if you want to say something or ask, or you can unmute yourself and you can say, or you can write something in the chat. Okay, and then we'll see. There's no need for anything, but there can be a feeling of there still is, and there's a longing for something else and all that. There's nothing wrong with that too, of course. You can be trying to understand and asking questions to understand more about this. That can be. That's all right. But there's no help. There's nothing that helps. But it doesn't matter. That doesn't mean that you can't ask questions about wanting to be more clear about this. That can happen. So sometimes there's thinking that you know what will be that what I'm you know what I'm will answering or something like that. I don't know. It's different. It's new. So any questions can be there, and maybe there's the same questions as somebody else. Then that is also new. So it doesn't matter what questions are there. Oh, there's a question. Hi, Rose. Can you explain why? Hi, Rose. Can you explain? Oh, there is no. Oh, that everything is one. What that means? That everything is one, and there's no separation. When there's I'm live when there when you live in the story and you feel like I'm here and everything is two and I'm here and over there's somebody else and all that, that's the experience of most people, and it's like that. So you call that duality or two or something like that. There's always two, good and bad, because when I'm in the story, then this is a right decision, because it's always, and that me is the center and it's about me. So everything what's going on is about how do I feel about that. And somewhere there's a feeling of there's something wrong, there's something missing, so there's an urge to make it or a sense to make it right somewhere. So that's the search, the drive to make it right, and that. And then suddenly there's hearing there's already one. It's a misunderstanding that there's two. But it's so embodied and seems so real that when that's belief and that embodied belief is there, the only way you can see it is that there's two. And then that it's like strange to hear there's one. You can't even imagine, but because the whole brain is so no, it's so normal to think that there's distance and I'm separate from everything what's going on. This is about loss. So it's the loss of a belief or a concept about that I am here, that me is real, and that there's everything is happening to me, and that there's a center, which I am the center of what's going on, and everything is mine, like thoughts, and it's important what's going on. And when there's that not that strong anymore, it's suddenly like, oh, there's already one, but it feels like, and it's experienced like two. There's no separation. There never was separation. There never was me also. That feeling of me, when that's there, then immediately also that feels like there's separation and I'm the center and everything's happening to me. And there can be moments during the day. There are a lot of moments. There's no me. That's already very much there. Like when there's cooking or maybe walking, there's nothing going on, and that whole construct can come back when there's some thoughts about things, or yes, about some circumstances. Then it feels like it's a survival system. So it's very much needed to survive in circumstances, to have enough money or to deal with pain or certain circumstances. Then that whole construct can be really strong, trying to make it right, what seems to be wrong. And hearing there's nothing wrong, that's also amazing, because when there's pain, it's most of the time it feels like that's wrong and I want something else. And hearing that there's can be pain, but it's not about right or wrong. It's pain without anything that tries to change it. And then suddenly it's like, oh, it's everything. It doesn't matter what's going on. That doesn't mean it's okay or something like that. It's what it is, pain, full on, feeling tired, but also smell, like that can be there. But it's not about me. There's nothing about life isn't about us or me. It's what's happening. There's never a center. There are no centers. Mm.
Hey.
Hi.
Yes, but I don't feel any separation of what about what I happens around me. I don't know. I feel like it's a whole thing. Everything is connected. I don't know, but I know there are other realities like galaxies or towns or countries. Uh, I cannot imagine that they are just in my mind. That I cannot understand. I mean, I don't want to change anything or what's happening. What's happening is like a flow. It's around me, the sounds, the pictures or feelings or perceptions, so I don't know. But when I wonder, this is the reality or the apparent reality that this conscience, I don't know, these eyes, these feelings, this body feels, but there are other realities I don't know. I don't know the town around your flat, and I cannot understand how everything is one, because this is not. Yes, I don't. I cannot understand everything is one, even everything is not connected. Yeah, I cannot explain.
What we normally do, what we assume that there are other countries or there are other towns. It's
Hmm.
it's 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 information. Maybe you know from the television or you learned a lesson or something like that. Well, it's this is very literally. So when there's this room, there's that's everything, and we somewhere know when there's a remembering, like the street, and if you go out, there will be that street, and when you go out, you see the street, so that's confirmed.
Hmm.
What is it's an abstraction of what's going on. When there's little children, they can't abstract, and they can't even see that there's distance. They don't know what that is. So there's this room and there's nothing outside. No, it's very literally, and we are so used to have the brain and abstracting and knowing. Well, this is completely literally what is without knowing. It's just
But
this.
it's like assuming that, for example, a friend of mine is not existing. This
Yeah,
doesn't exist.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, because I'm not seeing. So I have the privilege to
Mm.
exist or apparently exist because I feel I'm existing. But what about my friend does not exist?
Your friend,
Mm.
there's no friend, but it's not even, there's also no you. That's also, we assume that we are existing, but there's only that, maybe seeing that face or parts of it. And the brain can fill in the gaps, so it makes it continuing and all that. So it feels more comfortable and safe that there's always Francesca or Rose, or there's not. There never was. It's only that face, and that's everything. But
Mm.
we are so, it's so embodied, that belief that the body is always there. A friend is only in her house now, but she will come back and all that. Where's that friend? It's so literally that. There's just this. That's everything. And the rest is
Mm.
an assuming or a belief or a concept about that's still there. And when there's a loss of all those beliefs, then suddenly it's like, oh, this is everything. There's nothing else. And there can be a memory or some idea about that. That can go on. Well, it's only an idea.
So my friend, for example, exists just because I think of her.
Yeah, you assume she's still there. Yeah.
Uh,
Hmm.
and not I, but she she becomes concrete just because I think she is concrete.
Yeah. And when she's coming into the room, then suddenly it's like, oh, and there's suddenly the name popping up and like, hey, hello.
Mm.
When
But
she's
it's
left,
not me who creates her, because
no, it's a
it's
night.
just
No.
life
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
appearing.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also my body is appearing.
Yeah.
It's
But
not.
not always the whole body. We assume that
Mm.
it's the body is always, they're seeing a part or hand or that, and that's everything. And we assume that the body is real and it's always there. And it's crazy to hear that the body is also not real. It's energy. And then there's a hand. That doesn't mean the whole thing is there too. It's hand. And then so there's no Francisca. And so no life of Francisca or Rose or anyone else. It's part of that.
Mm. Mm. So
That's also
everything
the
can
freeing.
disappear. Yes, everything
Yeah,
can disappear or everything
yeah,
can appear.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. And it's random. It's completely random. And we think there's some logic in it. And then seems like it's going and it's happening to me. And
Mm.
then it's needs to be confirmed all the time, of course. And then the whole story and the problems also, because it's not going the way you would like to that it goes and all that. It's random.
Mm.
Life doesn't see you or me. It's random. It's energy going.
Mm. Impossible to understand. Mm.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
that's
about
true.
this is about loss, and then suddenly
Mm.
those beliefs it doesn't need that completely collapses, but sometimes with some beliefs you can see like, oh, how could I believe that? I suddenly there's a seeing of, oh, it's I don't know, or sometimes even like that. So it's
Yes, I lost lots of beliefs, but they were about history.
ah. Hmm.
But yeah, not the apparent reality.
And
It's
it's
like
also about,
it's
yeah,
impossible to understand
yeah.
that. I don't know. My food could disappear.
Mm, yeah,
Mm.
yeah, maybe it's impossible, but it's crazy to hear the suggestion already that there's a possibility in that. Normally, it's always confirmed, and it's just like that.
Mm.
It doesn't need to be understood or believed. It's hearing it,
Yeah,
or
of course. Yeah.
maybe not.
Yes,
Yeah,
when you said that you one day you lost your body or you didn't find your
yeah,
body anymore,
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
can trust you. I don't think oh, she's mad.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
anyway, I
yeah.
cannot really
No,
understand
okay,
with
maybe.
my mind. My mind,
Yeah, sure, sure.
yeah,
But and the funny
cannot.
thing is, it's not even about. Wait, it's not even about the mind or understanding, because it can be suddenly somewhere else. It's not about understanding, because that's, I think it's in a way it's impossible. Some people can, and then suddenly it's like, there's a sense, there's something, and you can't even grasp it, but somewhere there's a sense of there's something in it, but can't even say what it is. Something that can happen too.
Something in it, in what?
Now, in
Mm.
what's being said, that nothing
Ah,
is
okay.
real, that the body is
Mm.
also not real, that suddenly
Mm.
some
Mm-hmm.
circumstances, and suddenly it's like, and it can be for a moment, and then it's gone again. And
Mm.
so
Yeah. Mm.
can be. Mm, or not. Mm,
Okay.
mm.
Thank you.
Thanks you. There's somebody else. So there's. If me is the dream or the illusion, where does the me get the energy from? Well, the strange thing is, me isn't real. That's it's a belief in that there's someone, when there's suddenly there's that being able to abstract, that's Suddenly, like, I'm here, there's something here and there's something over there. And then you could say, I'm not, that the brain creates someone, that I am here and that I have a free will and choice, and that's confirmed and all that. So there's a belief suddenly that I am here, that there's someone inside and I can do something about what is, because that I have to behave so I get some more love and all that. So that's the create it's a created, yeah, you could say that the whole dream is created. So it's how that's working. I really, it's a miracle how life is creating, or is like, it's suddenly the feeling that I'm here. How is that possible that life is like that? But it's so, I can only describe what's going on. I don't know why or how it's going. But me isn't real. There is already no me, but the belief that I'm here, and the experience with that, of course, that you feel that you're really sure that you're here. It's a belief, but it's so embodied and so strong, can be like that. And then there's funny to hear the suggestion like, oh, but me is not real. There's no free will. It never was like that. There's no control. Like, huh? So, and somewhere maybe there's ringing a bell and coming to these meetings, maybe. Maybe not understanding, but that doesn't need to. Or there maybe is an understanding, but that understanding is only a little bit, and it doesn't help for the me to understand, because it's still me understanding, and it's still the story of right and wrong and better and worse. It's crazy to hear you don't exist. It's so convincing that you are there and that things are happening, circumstances are happening to you, thoughts are that they are mine and yours, and then hearing there's another possibility, because what we do is that when there's I am here and I'm in the story, then everything seems real. So there's trying to find out how we can deal with everything, but only in the story, because that's the only, seems to be the only possibility. And then in these meetings, there's another possibility, but it has nothing to do with the story. And we are used only to think in the story and everything is real and how to deal. And then suddenly there's another possibility. Ah, what's going on? It's shaking beliefs and concepts about how life is. That's what's going to happen in this meeting. Oh. Is there something I can do to realize 100% there's just this moment and I don't exist? No, because when there's trying to do, I'm here and I'm trying to understand or do something, it's confirming that you can do something. So it's confirming you are there. So it's a circle. That's the, you could say, the awful thing of this message is you can't do anything, because that's, it's not only you can't do anything, but that's what me does. It's me, it's like, what can I do or not do, or what's the best way, or it's always busy with that. And that's confirming that there's a possibility that I can do it. So confirming that I'm here, and in what way. So maybe there's coming to these meetings, and that idea about doing or not doing is of course then still there, and thinking there's a possibility to lose the me, or what can I do about it, or what can I realize, and all that. This is about loss. So it's not, has nothing to do with what can I do, because there's already no me. So there's no one already doing it. It's only that belief that can be so strong and so convincing, but you can't undo yourself. That's, it's impossible. That's the awful thing in that way. The other side of that, you could say, is everything is already complete. Because when there's me and I'm here and there's something going on and I want something else, that's the misunderstanding. It's everything is already complete as it is. It's exactly what it is. That's whatever feeling or circumstance, it's what it is. There's nothing right or wrong with anything. But when there's me and there feels like I'm separate from something else and I have to deal with things, then there's subtly underneath everything, there's something not right yet. I'm not good enough, or the world is not good enough, and I that needs to change and all that. That's so the normal seems the normal way. But that's the misunderstanding. There's nothing wrong with you or with anything. It's what it is. That's huge. There's nothing wrong. We are so convinced that there's something not right yet, or I'm not good enough because, and all that. It's what it is. There's nothing wrong with anything. So there's no need to change anything. It's already a hand. It's very literally, and we all but with the abstracting, it's always on top of what's going on. It's like, oh, it should be different. Oh, what can I do about? Oh, I don't want this, and there's nothing going on about wanting. Life doesn't see you, so there's no free will. But it was already like that. It is already like that. It's exactly that face, that hand, the way the behaving is happening. It's that. There's nothing wrong with anything with that. It's what it is. There can be like that or something else. Hmm. I want to say thank you and good night, everyone. Need to sleep. Yeah, of course. Hello. Bye. Bye.
Hi.
Hi.
Uh, I think the apparent reality is much more attractive, and I don't know. I don't know. It's a judgment, perhaps, but I feel that it is everything is everything is happening is very attractive. People coming and going. I don't know, nature growing and dying, but yeah, it's very. I don't understand because you said it's not doesn't exist, but and why is so attractive? I should stay. I don't participate very much. I don't do anything. I just sit and look at the people or at life or TV or whatever. Um, Sometimes I'm sad because I think I have no vitality in participating. But anyway, I pass most of my time sitting in a cafe and looking at people or the birds or flowers, whatever. And it's very, very attractive. But it's such a pity to think that it doesn't exist. I don't know. I don't know.
But it's apparently there. It's not that it is nothing because that's no. It's there. It's apparently there. There's feelings. There's birds singing. There's everything, and it's an appearance. So it's well. It doesn't mean it's not there. It's that something else. But it's not there for someone. It's an appearance. So it's energy. So the importance of everything is gone in that way, you could say. And there's also it's not real. So when there's a circumstance like that, and then it changes. Circumstances seems real and happening to me. It changes, and it's all that. And there can be birds singing. They're sitting. It's already everything. It doesn't matter what circumstances. When they're sitting in a cafe, then there's that sitting or hearing. There's sounds. There's a feeling. There's hand. It's it's full on. It's already full on. But in the every it's full on doesn't mean it's like much. It's full on can be subtle and strong and a feeling and walling and all that. So it's never lost. And it doesn't mean there's an understanding from, oh, I don't exist that I'm saying that to myself. No, there's nothing going on about it. It's just feelings can be there. It's very normal. And it's an appearance. It's nothing is real. It can be a sense that touching the table, we assume that's making it like, yeah, I feel that it's real. No, there's a sensation. There can be a sensation, yeah. And that's what's happening. So it's very normal. It's so normal. It's already like that. Not happening to me or to you. There's no one. So that whole construct about what's happening to me and how do I feel about it and can I deal with it and all that is just out of the window.
But I realize that it makes me cry. Just the idea. If I go in this idea, it makes me cry or lessen, sad. But otherwise, okay. It's just that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It's a loss. So, yeah, can be.
Mm. Oops.
The idea I have not a body is to me hard because I feel my back, the ground where I'm sitting on. Is that because I have a focus all the time on this body? I can understand that the parts of the body I see that it's not me, but it seems I feel my body all the time, also my brain, who think all the time. It's not all the time. It's there can be pain, and it's because we assume that the body is real, and it's assuming, oh, it's my back. It can be like it's still ordinary. So then when there's pain and maybe there's going to the doctor and they're saying, oh, there's pain in my back or things like that. In the same time, it's only pain. It's not a locate. We are so into location because that's we think then we can do something about it. There can be pain. It's somewhere in space. It's not even in the body. The body isn't real. So it's somewhere there can be pain and it's not yours. And that's so much together because we're so assuming that everything what's happening is in the body and it's mine. And maybe I can do something about it or not. And there's this other possibility. That's completely out of the story. It's not seeing the body as real, like it's energy. And pain can arise, but there's no reason. So there's pain, can full on, and then maybe it's going. There's nothing, what I can say, like here, there's nothing coming up like what to do about it, how to change it, I don't want it, all that's not happening. So that's part of me, that idea that I can do something about it because it's here and it's solid and it's mine. There's no choice. And it's not yours. It's somewhere pain can happen. And when there's I am here and this is my body and my life, there's that awareness of focusing or noticing what's going on or being busy with what's going on. That's how we do life. That when there's me, then there's always a focusing and being busy with the body or with my circumstances or how am I doing or all that. So it feels in that way, it feels like it's always there because it's so convincing that it's always there. I'm existing, I have to live my life and all that. And then there's looking for something else because it's exhausting, always busy with that and trying to find out, or maybe it's not working, or you tried a lot of things. So there's maybe coming to these meetings and hearing, oh, there's another possibility, but it's so completely out the story that it's questioning all kind of things that seem so normal and so never questioned. So it's shaking a lot of beliefs and concepts about the body, about pain, about I exist. And maybe there's not an understanding, or it doesn't matter, but it's already going. It's energetic. So it's not only about the understanding. There's something energetic in these meetings happening. So there can be some concepts or beliefs are not that strong anymore, and it's not even noticed. Or maybe it is not, but it's different. So there's not all the time, because we assume that it's all there's a feeling and then watching all the time. There are a lot of moments also. There's nothing going on. There's no looking at yourself. There's just walking or cooking or I don't know, something else. And then it comes back. But what we normally do is what the brain does, is filling in the gaps, and it seems like it's always. It's all the time. There is no always. It's this and what and there's and it doesn't mean there's a focus all the time or not focus. It changes. So there can be thoughts, and there are moments there are no thoughts, but maybe it's not noticed because there's no one. So and then it filled in, the brain fills in like it's all the time. No, it's not all the time. Nothing is always. It changes. And there's no one inside. That's crazy to hear that we're so convinced that I am here, I exist, and I can do something with what's going on. And hearing that that's not confirmed, that there's no one and there's no free will and choice or control, all that. It's like, oh, what is that? So that can happen. This is about loss. It's not about learning or doing. It's the other way. It's not how can I? No, it's like, oh, nothing. There's nothing in your hand. It's nothing left. And suddenly, oh, it's everything. It doesn't matter what it is. It's already sitting. It's that close. But we normally sitting, like, yeah, sitting. Yeah, I know. What is that? What is that sitting already? That sensation or the walling. It's so close. It doesn't matter where you are or what is going on. It's that already. So it's very tiny. Can be tiny or sometimes strong, but it's a lot of times it's very simple and ordinary. Sensation somewhere. Feeling. The wall. Drinking water. It's that already. Thinking. You can't miss it. There's nothing lost. It's everything. So it doesn't matter what it is. It's that it's the hand or that sensation, that like that. It's the sensation. Oh, it's everything. Not with a meaning. It's just that. There's even no need to understand this. There's maybe trying to understand, and there can be, and the trying is it too. Well, there's no need for trying also. So it can't be wrong. So it's not about, oh, I don't need to try. No, there's no one. There's no one. So it can't be wrong. It's just what's happening. But understanding can be, but doesn't matter. It's about a sensation. What's there to understand? Or drinking tea. There's no need for understanding. This is about not knowing. There's not knowing.
Is there a feeling of absolute or infinite or everything?
No.
No, of your real nature, what
No,
you
it's that.
really are.
No, it's just, it's wall. That's everything. Walling or sensation somewhere. That's everything. Not saying that to yourself now, only in the meeting I'm saying that, but normally is that sensation. So there's no knowing or being aware of something. No.
Not being aware, but living as the whole. I don't know, living as much bigger than a person.
No.
No.
It's much more simple. It's that sensation, that sitting or standing on the ground, that sensation, that's everything. Much more
Oh,
close and
and
simple.
why do you think many people who has who has lost the me talk about this infinity, this absolute, that they are thousand times bigger than what a person can feel.
For me, it's
Mm-mm.
that when people talk like that, there's a subtle me going on still, because that's making it like a bigger person or something, a bigger thing. It's then you have something, you see something, or there's being aware of that. And they say, I'm not aware, there's being aware, all that sounds very
It
attractive.
doesn't sound like this. Doesn't sound they have a
No,
bigger me. Doesn't
no, not a
sound.
bigger me.
So,
But
mm,
it can be very subtle, but it's something going, it's two. It's not, there's only walling. There's no perspective or anything about it's bigger than, I'm bigger than, I am everything or things like that. It's
mm,
two. No, it's much more simple. It's much more simple. There's the walling. It's that. There's not knowing or awareness. People talk about there's awareness. It's not me, but there's awareness. No, when the whole awareness is gone, there's life going on, but very simple and ordinary.
mm. But even Tony Parsons said that he was nothing, but nothing was like everything. Everything,
Yeah,
nothing is the same.
but that's something else. That when there's nothing, then in the same time it's everything. But everything is
Mm,
not aware of a big thing. It's when there's everything. Everything is a hand or the table or
mm.
something simple. It's nothing
Yeah.
and it's everything together. Yeah, that's the appearance of everything. Oh, all hearts. Thanks. What can be confusing is what we say it's everything. We make an image of everything, like, oh, it's everything together. What I mean with everything is that it's just the normal the, it's everything. So it's a hand, or it's the tea, or it's table. There's nothing that's not it. In that way, it's everything. It's not with a capital everything or things like that. It's much more normal. It's a hand, table, which is already. So it's not about knowing it or seeing it or all that awareness of it. No, it's everything. It's very means like, yeah, it's everything. So it's also did and also that and also that and also that. In that way, in a normal everything, could say. A question. Is stress something that will still appear when you realize you're not a person? Or will stress stop because there will be no more worries and making problems of things that happen? Now, stress still appears. It's not realizing I'm not a person. It's even not a realization. It's strange thing is, it's that being busy with everything, and suddenly that doesn't go on. That being busy with everything, so that stops, and suddenly it's it's this. So it's not a realization. It's that that being clear was for a moment everything was clear, but that also that fell away. But we think that stress is because of making problems or thinking a lot in the head. We always have conclusions and relations between everything. And it's really strange to hear that there are no relations, not only between people, because there's no one, but we think in time. So when there's a lot of thinking about problems and there's stress in the body, that's related. Stress can happen without any reason, or it happens without any reason. So there can be a lot of thoughts and thinking, and there's stress, and there's no thoughts at all, and there's stress. It's and there's no relation between anything. That's making it into there's no meaning. There's stress without meaning, without reason. It's that sensation in the body somewhere can be there. Yeah. Panic can be there. Yeah. For no reason. Nothing happens with the reason, but we assume when there's a lot of things going on in the story or in circumstances and there's panic or stress, it's related and we should do something about it, we can do something about it. And the suggestion and then the hearing of that there's not no relation with anything, that's weird because that's so the normal way. It's this and it's this and it's this and there's no before. So there's no because or reason. There's no cause and effect. It's only in the story, of course, you can see cause and effect and it's how it's going. There's no time. So there's stress. Yeah, can be. Pain. Everything. It's already what's happening. So it would be weird to say no, there's no stress anymore because that's old. It's everything already. Stress is also complete. There's nothing wrong with stress. And we think, oh, we should solve it or do something about it. It's not good for the body or all that. A lot of ideas about it. Because there's always, and that's what me does, there's always, whatever it is, there's something wrong. And we should make it right. And that can be stress, it can be circumstances, no, it's always colored by that. So when there's that color isn't there, there's stress. That can be there, and after a while that's gone. It goes by itself. There's no one doing that already. And it's already. But we think that whole construct about being busy with it and looking at it and focusing it, that's really important because otherwise it would be go wrong or something like that. It has no power at all. That's strange to hear. It's like that whole idea about being busy with it and trying to make it right. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's only thoughts happening like that without any power at all. It's exhausting. Well, then it's exhausting. Then that's what's happening. Nothing matters. But it's not saying that to yourself because that's making everything flat. But what I say when nothing matters, it's because it's everything. So if it's stress or it's walling, yeah, it's both. It's everything. It's that. Doesn't mean I'm saying like, oh, hello, stress, or something like that. No, there can be stress. God. Well, that's it. It's not. making it all right or something like that. No, it's there's nothing when there's stress somewhere. There's nothing going on trying to change it. That's not arising. Doesn't make like you like no. Or when there's a smell, you think, "Oh God, what is this?" Can be just that.
There's no way to make life better anyway.
No, no.
To continue to live or to make suicide, it doesn't depend on anything or me, or of course not on me, but
Mm.
so it
Yeah,
just happened. So there
yeah,
is no way to make it better.
no. And also no need. And that because there's a misunderstanding, there's something
Yes,
wrong.
of
Yeah.
course. No need.
Yeah.
This is the key. Mm.
Mm. There will be a live meeting in Amsterdam. So that will be on July the 6th. So if you want to be in a live meeting, you can go to Amsterdam on July 6th. It's on the Saturday, the whole Saturday, from 11 till 5. So you're very welcome. Now we talk about this. It's this. It's only this. There's no before. There's no after. It's this. And the funny thing is, it's already. There's nothing to look for. It's already everything. And it's everything with a small capital. It's not with a capital. It's everything. It's a cup of tea. That's what's happening. There's no meaning. Life doesn't have any meaning. Life doesn't have any purpose. It's just this. It's very ordinary, very tiny, and can be a strong emotion. Then that's what's happening. And an emotion, it's not happening in the body. It's somewhere in space, not for you, not for anyone. It's just that emotion, like that. The sensation. Wall is walling. There's no one. There's no one looking at it, or it's not happening to someone. There is already no one. It's walling. It's a sensation somewhere. A cup of tea. It's very normal, and it's already. There's nowhere to go. There's no need to understand or do. It's already this. It's already everything. Closing the computer. It's that. Walking is it. So nothing is lost. It's already complete as it is. It was never lost. It's this. Handling. That's it. Very simple, very ordinary, already what's happening. Thank you. Thank you.